The No Kings protest took place this past Saturday, 2,600 locations nationwide. Reportedly, if you believe the reports from the mainstream media, 7 million people protesting. The first question to you at home, if we could run a poll in this as well, Connor, do you believe that there were 7 million people at the No Kings protest this past weekend? And that's my first question to you guys here on the panel today. Do you believe that 7 million people showed up to more than 2,600 locations in protest of Trump? And if so, why do they think they were there? Because we do not have a king, so it's all very confusing.
First of all, absolutely not. MSNBC got caught playing something from 2017, which showed this massive crowd. Bro, I don't believe anything. Bro, even Jake makes a great point, too. I was just on Instagram from a reputable person, just showing something from, like, the CEO of Pfizer is saying that he's going to take a pill and be in your stomach. And you initially read it, you're like, dude, is that? And even Jake's like, that can't be true. That's not true. And you do your research and you look it up, and it's not. I don't believe people on social media. I don't believe freaking the news. I was watching it with my own eyes, bro. And what drove me crazy is just old, liberal, white people that are in the hood. You guys are in the streets of Philly, streets of Chicago, streets of of Los Angeles, and you're just white and mad. Where were all the people? Where are all the minorities that make up these neighborhoods? It's a lie, in my personal opinion. And then go back, Connor. Can you go back to the photo? I want to show, like, if you think of evil, the first slide of
Soros,
of George Soros. I want everybody to take a look. George Soros, is Connor listening?
Connor. Oh, Connor.
Okay, look at that. Okay, you want to talk about the face of evil? That is it right there. Every single problem that's happening when you hear NGO or where's the money coming from or who's funding it, it all leads back to this guy. And Rob, to answer your question, no, I think it was the biggest waste of time. I am so happy, though. I am so happy because this proves something that the other side didn't snipe anybody, didn't shoot anybody, didn't stab anybody. Nothing crazy happened. I'm happy they got to go out there and vent and do their thing. It did absolutely nothing.
Can you go back to the George Soros photo real quick, Connor? Doesn't he look like a melted candle?
It does.
Look at the eyelids. They're just like, it looks like the reptilian is shedding his human skin suit in order to rule over the masses. Brandon, you live in South Florida. Did you see any protests, No Kings protests this past weekend?
No.
Because the only time, and the reason I ask, the only time I've seen one, I was with my son. We were driving, and this was the original No Kings protest that happened 6 months ago. There was, similar to what you mentioned, a bunch of middle-aged white people, some of them women with colorful hair, purple hair, a lot of purple hair, blue-haired, but maybe 14, 20 people at max, holding a few signs on a street corner, accomplishing nothing. And I went, okay, that is the most pathetic protest that I've ever seen in my entire life.
Rob, what was the goal? I know you want to go to Brandon. Be honest, Rob. Really, really try. What was the goal? What were you trying to do and accomplish? Meaning, it's Sunday morning. It's over. What's the checklist? What did you do?
I think, in my opinion, to incite violence without actually inciting violence, right? They're still going with this rhetoric that Donald Trump is a danger to democracy. Now they just can't say that anymore because of what happened with Charlie Kirk after Trump got shot in the ear. So now it's a scapegoat. Hey, he's a king, and we can't have kings in this country. We're not going to tell you what to do, but we certainly can't put up with this anymore. Yeah. So for me, it's a way to incite violence without actually calling for violence. Humberto.
All right. What happened to me?
We'll go to you in a minute. Nicer suit,
Brandon.
first.
Yeah,
no, it's not.
And I'm pointing with a pen. All right, so I'm about to say something serious.
Wrong side.
All right, is there 7 million idiots in this country?
Yes.
What do you mean?
I don't know.
I might be one of them.
I don't know. Here in Florida, there was a couple hundred people, and if you start multiplying city by city, all the cities that there could be 7 million people that have no idea what they're doing. Now, if you read Rules for Radicals by Saul Alinsky, all right? Saul Alinsky. He writes there that the action is a reaction. So this is my thinking why they did this. They were baiting some violence, all right? They put the people on the street, they wanted to get out of hand, and they want to martyr, all right? People on the general American public, they're smart, they're civilized, they didn't start any violence, and they didn't get, the level of, violence that they were planning for. So I think this is a botched attempt to start steering shit.
Let me ask you a question, though. Do you think that they had the capability, which I think if that's what they wanted to do with what we've seen, with what the deep state and all the left, because, bro, don't sleep on them. They got it wasn't 7 million, but they got a lot of people in the freaking streets. Don't you think with everything that we know that they're capable of doing, couldn't they have planted something or done something, a bombing, anything to make one of theirs die, to make it look like, hey, look at what the right is
That's
doing?
very valid. But at the same time, like when I started fighting communism professionally, all right, I read a lot of their textbooks, all right? So I bet the Trump administration has enough guys that know how they behave, what they're doing, what to look for, and what to, like, stop.
Yeah.
To
prevent them, okay.
To prevent this. You know what I mean? Because this was announced. It was a serious threat to the government. And I think in general the response from the Trump team was absolutely amazing.
They were out there watching them.
And they were funny. They were hilarious.
Brandon, do you believe that 7 million people protested nationwide? And then we're going to get into George Soros, the Open Societies Foundation, and their alleged financial ties to the No Kings protest. But first, Brandon.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think it's easy to make it seem like that happened, and it's like that video that shows the person who gets up and starts dancing when nobody else is dancing, and then the second person, then everybody else does it. So I think they're trying to create that effect where they make a few people go out and start doing it, and then they're hoping that it'll pick up the momentum when people start seeing people who are paid to do it doing it, and sometimes it catches and sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, same as you. Last time that it was happening, I tried to go to one to ask them questions, get content, and there was 5 of them there in the corner where the planned protest
Is this a video of when you went down?
Is this one mine?
I think that might be yours.
That looks like Fort Lauderdale Beach.
Yeah.
Can you play the tape?
Oh, I didn't know we had that.
Look at that.
So this is
Oh yeah, that's my one.
not this past weekend, but the previous No Kings protest that you drove past in Fort Lauderdale Beach sometime over the course of the
They
summer.
had the gate set up too, huh?
Yeah, they were expecting all that.
Oh my God! Don't tell me that.
This is exactly what I saw when I... Now, granted, we are in a very red state. We are in South Florida. It doesn't get any redder
district
and
is
deeper
blue, though.
south than this.
Broward is blue though.
Is it really?
Yeah, barely.
The Haitians! Sorry, go ahead. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
By the way, I was.
And that's it.
Wow.
Let's go.
Oh, Palestinian flag, obviously. By the way,
Yeah, that's exactly what I saw. Less than a dozen people out
Yeah.
there.
But I was at the barber shop because I don't know if you guys can tell. I cut the hair off. My Umberto's gonna be next. And I'm sitting.
I made
in there.
a doll out of it.
Bro,
I keep it at home.
Yeah, I'm sitting in there, and a guy walks in with the No Kings. I was hoping it was like a spoof. He really was wearing a No King. Rob, what are the odds of this? I'm in a predominantly Cuban, Puerto Rican, Dominican. Mira, tú sabes, everyone
Well, if
does
you're in
Spanish.
Miami, the odds are very
No,
high.
I was
that's what's
here.
there.
And my boy Josh, he's a nasty. He's an amazing barber. And I'm sitting in his chair, and there's no kid. We're talking about God. We're talking about stuff that you're not supposed to talk about in a barbershop. And I'm trying to convert this guy because he doesn't believe in God at all. And I'm giving him all the I'm just dropping knowledge. A gay guy, older gay guy is wearing this shirt. And he comes in with a younger Filipino-looking boyfriend that's kind of quiet and timid, and he's wearing that shirt, and I go, "Are you kidding me?" Like to Josh, and then we're talking, and then that guy, I think he recognizes me because another guy walks in and goes, "Oh, Vincent, are you kidding me?" He goes, "You have the best podcast. You're changing the world." This guy's face. And with this grabs his boyfriend and they walk out.
No
and they
kings,
leave.
all queens.
No kings, all queens, and they don't want to talk to me. So
So let's dive into the financial ties to the George Soros Foundation, Open Societies Foundation, and also apparently Warren Buffett. Fox News and other outlets reported that Indivisible, the primary coordinator behind the No Kings rallies, received more than $7.6 million in grants from billionaire George Soros' Open Societies Foundation since 2017. So that's over the past 8 years, $7.6 million, including a $3 million grant last year. Critics like Ted Cruz allege that Soros funding
Oh boy.
what is it? Constitutes? Yes, constitutes. I developed a stutter mid-podcast. An orchestrated campaign to destabilize the Trump administration, dubbing the effort part of a protest industrial complex. In fact, we actually do have a clip, Connor. I sent it to you in Slack if you could check there. We actually have Ted Cruz. This is Ted Cruz talking about the legislation he has introduced to try and crack down on the funding of these protests. It's called the Stop Funders Act. Here's Ted Cruz on Fox News. I believe this was 2 nights ago.
Real creative name.
Considerable evidence that George Soros and his network is behind funding these rallies, which may well be riots all across the country. And Soros is writing the check. And so I've introduced legislation called the Stop Funders Act that would add rioting to the list of predicate offenses for RICO. Why is that? Because it would let the Department of Justice use RICO, racketeering, to prosecute the money that is funding the anti-Semitic protests on campuses, the pro-open border protest in L.A. and other cities, and these No King protests. Anyone that is supporting rioting and violence, it lets you go after the money. And I'll tell you, there are more than 200 left-wing groups behind these No Kings rallies this weekend. They deliberately are blind to what each of the others are doing. That's part of how they avoid accountability. RICO is designed for precisely that sort of criminal enterprise. And so I believe the Senate, we ought to take up and vote on and pass our Stop Funders legislation. And I've urged both Pam Bondi at DOJ and Kash Patel at FBI, follow the money and prosecute those who are writing checks funding acts of violence, political violence or otherwise, across the country.
Well, if you've left it in the hands of Pam Bondi, then nothing will
Nothing's
get
gonna
done.
get done.
Let's take a look at the chart that was going viral. This was all over X. Did you guys see this over the past 2 days? Apparently, this came out late Monday afternoon. A post on X shows a graphic headline, 3 million Soros grant behind No King's protest wave. News outlets state that the Open Societies Foundation in 2023 issued a 2-year grant, which we've already discussed, to the Indivisible organization to support the grantee's social welfare activities. That's what the money is designed for. If you zoom in on that graphic, this is what it shows. The total amount of money that has been donated to the No Kings to Partners organization. Connor, does this mean that each one of these donated that amount? Not like over what period of time, I guess, would be the question, because there's no... Does Connor have a mic?
Yeah, so this is the amount of funding given from different networks. And so when it says Soros, it's through things like the Open Society Foundation and other charities and organizations under his umbrella. The Tide Center is another one that is heavily linked to Soros but is independent. Then you have the Arabella Network, which we found out about during the first No Kings. And then there's things like Rockefeller and Buffett in the mix, with all of their organizations under their umbrella kicking money to various No Kings affiliates in one way or another.
Like, Rob, the top two, like that I could see, the total, 42,300,000, American Civil Liberties Union Foundation, Inc. That's a whatever. Don't even know what the hell that means. And then what's this one, Rob? $46 million towards the middle is League of Conservation Voters, Inc. Look at these vague ass names, and it's like, bro, it always leads to this freaking guy. And what you guys invested all this money and nothing was accomplished.
Well, we always find a way on this episode to tie it to Israel. And if you take a look at the very first one, a Jewish Voice for Peace, Inc., which donated $752,500. Now, that is a joke, of course. However, I tried to fact check the actual, the donation's real. The joke that we're trying to tie it to Israel is a joke. When I tried to dive into whether or not this was able to be fact-checked, this actual chart, like where did it come from? It keeps bringing me that there's no news organizations that verified that this accounting is actual. Connor, have you seen anything else besides this? It just says that right now the assessment is that the original graphic is unverified. So I'm just trying to see if there is any validity to this chart since it was all over X the past 2 days.
So some of these compilations that we have here have been verified and as individual donations, and you can use resources like Open Secrets and Influence Watch to track the connections between these organizations. But the overall totals that we've been presented with are accurate, I have found, in some rigorous fact checking.
Here's my thing. Why don't you guys take that freaking $250 million and try to, like, prop up a good politic? Like, what? You're literally wasting your money. You could easily just find someone that is in the Democratic Party that is not for open borders, that isn't pro-trans mutilation of kids, that isn't pro giving money to illegals, that isn't pro men competing in women's sports, that like it boggles my mind, bro. How many times in your life have you been effing up? Okay, and you've had friends, Umberto. We've done it to each other, bro. You need to you're effing up. Change this.
Yeah.
You want to hear that from somebody because I need help. These people, something is wrong. Either they're not listening or they're so dedicated to the cause, Roberto, where they can't say, hey guys, listen, which I would respect 1,000 times more. How about this? Give me someone to vote for on the other side. Meaning, come find somebody, not the AOCs, not the Bernie Sanders oligarchy. It drives me crazy. Where are the sane-minded people that are like, hey, listen, I'm a Democrat. I'm going to keep the border closed. I'm going to figure out a way to get the people that have been here for over 5 years to maybe pay a tax. So ICE won't be as aggressive, even though Trump promised it. Just to, have these people pay a tax. They're not criminals. Yeah, they broke the law coming in. We're going to do this. You know what? Enough with the trans shit. By the way, the numbers of the transgender has dropped. There's a chart. It's dropped so dramatically, especially because of TikTok and all that shit, it's off. But where are those people at? That money should be going to that.
Not only do they not promote those people, they actively destroy those people.
100%.
Think about Tulsi, RFK.
Yep.
Bernie Sanders is crazy, but they even didn't like Bernie Sanders because they didn't like him deviating from what they wanted to do.
Oh, of course.
And then Stephen A. Smith, he starts acting like maybe he'll entertain the idea of being a president. They start attacking him right away. So I think the gatekeepers actively destroy anybody who stands a chance of being an outsider to the Democrat Party.
It's crazy. But
I think there's other angle because I know what you're saying, Vinny. But if you see the numbers, all right, we saw the first graph. That's not change. That's not that's serious money.
200. The bottom number said, how about this? Even if it's off, let's say it's off by 100, $150 million to make people go, we don't like President Trump. It's insane.
So you have the numbers here, and you have the organizations, and all these are serious people. You have Mark Zuckerberg, not only George Soros, who's the worst, but they're betting on something. I don't think.
Don't forget the tax write-off, though.
Yeah, I wonder, does Mark Zuckerberg actually know that the money that is being taken from his foundation is funding these things? Like Ted Cruz mentioned, they keep a lot of people in the dark from every which angle that they're going. That way there's plausible deniability.
That's a very valid point. I mean, and I think the conversation that could be had that is more fruitful than actually talking to Soros, because Soros is banned from his own home country.
He can't go back.
All right, he can't go back.
He's
to his
banned
own
from
home
multiple
country.
countries.
So
where does he live right now? Is he here?
In America.
Probably here.
Where?
No, hold on.
No?
Yeah, wait, because I want to know. I haven't seen him in. By the way, he might be dead for all we know. His son is running the show. That guy might be on freaking oxygen or something, which is just so. Man, I'm so mad that he had a son. It would have been more. interesting to
So
see
the
if he
point
had
I
a
want to
lunch.
make. The point I want to make. This is serious money investment. So they're
Wow, New York. You guys are right. Sorry, Bedford, New York.
All right.
He lives he is
Dark
Bedford,
Tower.
Western County, New York.
Why isn't anybody going
Owned
to
a
protest
large
at his
estate
house?
there since 1993, and over time acquired surrounding parcels to build up a property portfolio in that area.
Probably has a giant compound
we're
with
talking.
gates.
We're talking. This guy
Demons.
allegedly help the bad guys in World War II. All right.
Oh no! By his own admission, he talked about collecting Jewish people's belongings.
It's not.
and
it's not
ratting them out, too.
It's not allegedly. He said he had to do it to save
All right,
his life.
Then he broke England. He shorted the British pound.
A
Remember
bunch
that?
of countries. That was his thing. He would,
Bunch-
um,
He was
like,
proud.
short, you would destroy their currencies.
So whatever you want to say about him, he doesn't do things just out of
No, he's amazing at doing evil shit.
And he's way above a tax write-off, Brandon.
that?
He's miles above a tax write-off. It's not. I don't think that's.
No, I'm
his-
not saying he does it for a tax write-off. I'm saying the people that are on this list,
But-
Zuckerberg, they get a
But
tax write-off.
Zuckerberg, that's a guy. He's turning his life around. He's been to the White House
I still
multiple
don't.
times.
Listen, because he played a huge role with his
why
Zuckerbucks.
wouldn't Trump call him out?
Trump was shot in the freaking head and kind of was like, I'm moving on. Mark Zuckerberg was one of the reasons when they all cheated. He's one of the main reasons, bro. $400 million to help Trump lose. and make Biden them win, bro. And look what the hell we've had to do. All the shit that's happening, all the ICE, all the everything is because of people like that. And just because he's doing push-ups and he wears a necklace now doesn't mean shit to
Well,
me.
it's a puka shell necklace.
Yeah, so
just so
my
you know.
bad, my bad. But he's still a dork, and he still tried. He assisted in trying to destroy this country. I'll forgive people, but I will never, ever forget your ass.
Yeah,
ever.
and that's just with the election. Let's not even dip into the deplatforming during COVID for just exercising your First Amendment rights by questioning the science. He was one of the lead people deplatforming people and silencing people. And like you said, now he can do jujitsu with Joe Rogan. All of a sudden he's cool and everybody forgives him. Oh, Mark Zuckerberg's great. What about the weird bunker that he's building in Hawaii? That is okay. Yeah,
$200 million.
But he's cool because he surfs.
But what I'm trying to get at, because now, just like me, it's all about business, Vinny.
Yeah.
Like
For
how
them it is.
How is this good business for them? What's their angle? Like what?
And that's a great question because I don't see it because it's not Umberto. They're going all in on a hand that they know it's losing, and they're not even bluffing. Everybody sees what's happening. They have to see it. They're not that stupid. But with him, I think it's something deeper, Umberto. I think that when I talk about evil, I know me and Jake joke around about demons. That's a whole different level. George Soros is out there in the open. Everybody knows exactly what that guy is, bro. That's an evil dude.
All right, we have to wrap up. Final word, Humberto, because I think you're trying to make a point. Do you want to get to the point, and then we'll move on?
I'm trying to make a point. I think
Adam.
Just Adam. No,
Humberto Sosnick. Sorry, go ahead.
I think we might laugh about it, say it's evil, but all these policies, they're very good for the business. Like having open borders for these guys that have a big companies that need to hire a lot of people. That's good for the business. Having docile people that will go there and make an ass out of themselves and go like, no kings, why are you here? I don't even know.
They're getting paid for it.
So I think they're onto something. That's my point.
So before we wrap up and move on to the next segment, George Soros is not necessarily banned in a legal sense from Hungary, his home of origin. He has not been deported or explicitly forbidden to return. However, he is effectively under heavy political and regulatory pressure in Hungary. His organizations have been forced out or constrained. The government has painted him as a hostile actor, and the Stop Soros laws were enacted explicitly targeting the kind of work that his foundations do. So there's not a law that bans George Soros from going back, but the country has certainly made it known that you're not welcome here. Kind of like the Venezuelans here illegally. You're not welcome. Thank you. Okay.
So if you like this clip, click right here. And if you want to see more like it, click right here. Stay angry, Patriots.